Yeah.
Our witty banter will be us bantering, talking about bantering, the art of the banter.
Bantha fodder.
Bantha fodder.
Mm-hmm.
We're live now, boys. What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
You know, we could talk about my haircut.
Oh yeah, Roman got a haircut.
Last time I was on camera, I had a full beard and everything.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
We skipped last week because it was Labor Day.
We were, and Christian and I, we were out of town.
I was doing a music video shoot.
Yeah, you were doing a lot of work. It looked like it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm still editing it, but expect that soon, guys.
I wish we could have been there. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast.
One day we'll do something like that.
You're killing people of your own.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's regular Pearl.
That setting is very X-ish.
Exactly. Yeah. After seeing X earlier this year, it really inspired me to make my own kind of film.
Yeah,
you're like the director in X. You're like, it's great. It's perfect scenery.
Yeah,
great backdrop.
What is he? Matthew McConaughey's like feel how hard my cock is right now.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. Matthew McConaughey. That's funny.
That shit is kind of like people's eyes are gonna pop out of their skulls when they see this.
He's wearing like a N95 mask on his junk at one point when he goes out and searches.
What was that? I was like, what the fuck is he wearing? Yeah.
It was the 80s, or it was late 70s.
Was that really what he was wearing?
Well, you know,
it looks.
Like
it just looks like that. Okay, yeah, because it's just like.
I was like, put something on, put some clothes on.
He couldn't find his underpants. He could like find an N95.
At least Kid Cudi put some clothes on when he went and searched.
I like he just talked to the old guy, just like he didn't care. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But anyway, do you want to get into this, Carlos?
Yeah.
Pops.
What we're referencing right now is director Ty West's film that he released earlier this year, X. And yesterday we just saw the newly released Pearl, the prequel to X, done by the same director, Ty West, and starring Mia Goth again. This time she stars as Pearl. It takes place in the 1910s, around like 1918, towards the close of World War I. And she's stuck on a farm. She has ambition, and she thinks that she has that X factor that can take her away from the farm. But we run into a little bit of trouble, and turns into somewhat of a horror film. Definitely a horror film.
Yeah.
And then we'll, of course, be talking about X at the same time, which takes place in the 1970s when they're trying to make a porno on a farm. And then they run into the same character from this film, Pearl, but only she's a little bit older now. And it turns into another bloodbath in that film as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just saw Pearl last night. What were your guys' initial impressions, Roman?
I liked it. It was... I hadn't seen X before watching Pearl, which was kind of funny. I intentionally didn't look anything up about X, so I had a vague idea of what happened. I did end up watching X later that night, so it was kind of like a double feature thing for me. But I liked it. Pearl is like more of like a psychological thriller than a slasher horror, which was what X was. You know, it reminded me a little of the Joker I saw a couple years ago with Joaquin Phoenix, where there's just kind of almost like a character study and watching this person's
that's a good point.
Attempted rise and fall. And or I don't know, maybe it's not a fall because you know,
she doesn't like suffer any consequences.
You can't really fall when you're at the bottom.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sorry, Pearl.
Yeah, but no, I thought Mia Goth gave a great performance. I thought it was spooky. It was chilling. It wasn't. Again, it's not a slasher, so it's not like there's a bunch of jump scares and things like that. But they still fit some blood and guts in there, and I had a good time with Pearl. Definitely
a lot of tension in there too.
Oh yeah,
in Pearl,
big time. Yeah. So, but overall, for sure, I liked it. I liked them both. So, what about you, Ian? You saw Pearl last night as well?
Yeah, Pearl was good. Pearl was very good. I liked it. Everything you said, I could just echo. Mia Goth was very, very, very well. Oh, Henry Silva died. That's sad.
She really carries the movie. I mean, she kind of has to.
Yeah.
But she does a great job.
She does. She really just. It's kind of hard because everything that I want to say you just said. Yeah. It's just
it's also a little hard to talk about it without spoiling it too.
Yeah.
We'll get into the spoiler discussions a little bit later on in the show.
Yeah.
But for now.
Yeah, one thing I will say, I'm not a big fan of that time period. I much like the 1979 setting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was still very, both movies are beautifully shot.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I was actually wondering, so X was shot 185-1, so that's basically like how we're framed right now, and Pearl is shot 235-1, and it's wider.
Mhm.
And I was almost wondering because it's a movie that takes place in 1918. You know how the lighthouse was shot? I think the aspect is like 119-1 or something. It's like
super
incredible.
square.
Do you think that would have worked for this movie? Do you think that would have maybe with the farm setting, maybe that would have been a little too cramped?
I
That's
liked
why
how
they-
they did. You're talking about Pearl, right?
Yes,
I
yeah.
liked how they did it because it's so visually beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
very-
thinking like maybe that would have been a poor choice to go narrower.
Yeah, I would think I prefer this. I think what we ended up.
It's
with,
good framing
2.5.
too. There's a scene where like Pearl's again trying not to get in spoilers. So Pearl's sister-in-law is walking out of the house and Pearl is following her.
Yeah,
And it's like one's over, so Pearl's in the background, the sister-in-law is right here, and it takes up the screen, and it's just good usage of that.
yeah, lots of bright colors and things.
That too.
When we walked out, you said it reminded you of Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, very much
Yeah,
so.
got those Wizard of Oz
Yeah,
A lot
vibes.
of Wizard of Oz
for sure, and not just the
stuff.
story, but the visually, the look of it
There's
all.
a scarecrow involved.
Yeah, lots of pretty, like really pretty flowers and stuff. That
Her
really
riding
pop.
her riding the bike is like the Wicked Witch in the real life riding the bike around.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah. You said the scarecrow. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
very
a different
vibrant
take.
film too. Like all the colors,
Yeah.
the skies are really blue, like
Mhm.
super blue.
Yeah.
The barn's like super red. Her dress is super red.
A lot
Yeah.
of those like Texas Chainsaw Massacre shots of just like the flat land and like the sky.
This,
you know,
well,
just
and
looking-
X especially.
yeah.
Yeah.
X took a lot from its era. I haven't seen a ton of 1910s and 1920s movies, so I
There's
don't
not
That's what
know.
I was
many.
thinking
There's
too,
not
yeah.
many.
Yeah, I mean silent movies.
a
and
lot
stuff.
of them didn't survive.
There was the opening of X. The Pearl and X open the same from the barn.
Yes.
In Pearl, I think curtains open up. In X, it's just shown from the barn.
Do
but
curtains open really in Pro?
I thought so. I could be wrong.
Really?
I don't recall that.
I thought it was like credits, and then it was like show tunesy. The score was very
Right.
like, orchestral and stuff. But in X, they show it from the barn, and the barn doors like block out the sides, so it does look very square.
Yes,
It's
that's
very
what I thought.
tight.
I was like, wait a minute, like I don't remember this movie being that. And then
Yeah,
it
I was like, whoa,
it-
is this whole movie gonna
when
be?
they move out of the barn, it's like it opens to the 185-1, and I because we missed that in the theater.
Yeah,
I think
we
I was taking a piss or something.
we went late.
Yeah, so seeing that, I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, did I miss? Did I watch a different version of this?
No,
The
there's a
whole
lot
thing
of
is just
stuff
on-
I like either just forgot or
Mhm.
Well, regarding aspect ratio in X, they kind of cut to their camera that they're using, and it's a very square, small frame.
they're
The way
using
that they show.
133-1. I think that's probably like a 16mm camera or
Okay.
something.
The
Yeah.
movie in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The porno.
Almost kind of sepia toned a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's funny for me because like I was always a Kid Cudi fan when he was making music since like I don't know 2007 or 8 or whatever it
Right.
was.
Yeah.
And so to see him just like on like this like porno filter and he's got the stash and the afro. And he's
Yeah.
like, come on, baby.
I didn't even know that was him until
Oh, yeah.
someone pointed it out. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
"Oh,
like
that's
him.
cool."
I like Kid Cudi a lot as a person. He had this HBO show I used to watch too. So
Oh,
Oh,
he's acted before. His character in X is a little more like stiff, but
yeah.
I think they are on purpose. I think all the
Yeah.
characters are pretty shallow in X for the most
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
He's in the Westworld season 3 as well.
Oh, I
Kid
didn't know
Cudi.
that. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But Pearl's a lot more like much smaller cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's Pearl, her parents.
At the same time, same almost an X kind of. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's like the 6 the 6 kids or whatever,
Yeah.
and then the 2 people. Yeah,
I think there's more in this because of the televangelists, the deputies,
yeah.
sheriff.
Yep.
But
they
really, it's
expanded it
predominantly
out.
just like a few people. The
Mhm.
majority of the movie.
Yeah, just a handful at this farm. Isolated location, small group of people.
I gotta say though, I think
Recipe.
when we left the theater, Ian, you said you liked X a little bit more than Pearl, right?
Yeah, it's probably just because it has to do with like in the 70s,
Yeah.
starting cocaine and shooting guns, and
Yeah.
Slasher
Um,
homages and things like
there's
that.
a lot of TNA, which I must say I like,
Yeah.
and yeah, it just that's kind of more up my alley. But at the same time, Pearl, I did like Pearl.
I think that I liked Pearl a little bit better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. I could
Mia Goth's
Makes sense.
performance, she had
Yeah.
like a 6-minute monologue towards the end. What?
yeah.
I was
Kept
like,
going.
I saw on Twitter that she has a 6-minute monologue,
Was it
and
really
when
6 minutes?
it was about that
Wow.
length, yeah. And
Yeah.
when it started, I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is the monologue." And I was like,
Okay.
"Keep going, keep going. Let's keep
Wow.
this rolling."
It did keep going.
Because yeah, it's just for some reason Ty West decided just to focus on her instead of cutting back and forth between the two characters talking.
I cut to her once, Mitzi, the
Yeah,
Mm.
the
sister-in-law.
sister.
Yeah.
But it just stayed on Mia Goth explaining her story basically, and ooh, it was good.
Yeah.
Even in the very end, the end credits, it's
Yeah.
just a freeze frame of her. Well, not a freeze frame, but
Yeah.
it's just
The camera just
a
holds on
long
her.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, good choices.
Yeah. Dude, I liked all that stuff.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, people were laughing.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I'm a little guilty of that too. I think it's kind of a human response when you're uncomfortable, you kind of laugh.
Making a long form eye contact is not like
Yeah.
a common thing. So
So like I've done like I remember like there if we watch The Thing and all the crazy shit's going on, you know, like with the like they're on the couch and everything, I'll laugh
yeah.
because it's almost like, well, that's maybe the ridiculous, but it's also it's something people do when they're uncomfortable. I remember you brought up Joker. I remember in the theater when he's just laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. People are laughing too. You know, it's just like when you're I feel like it's like kind of a response people do when they're nervous or
Yeah, I've heard that
uncomfortable
scientifically it's a nervous
situations,
response.
yeah.
I like that.
Because that to me it's just like, you know, this isn't obviously supposed to make us laugh.
I don't know. I think some of it is.
In Pearl, well, some instances
the
probably.
movie itself, both movies are, I think, has some dark comedy to
Yeah.
them. But
Yeah.
I don't know, the monologue. I do remember thinking like, I think I'm supposed to laugh at this. I don't know, like, you know, she reiterates. I don't want to get into spoilers too much just yet, but she kind of says the same thing over and over again when she's doing her monologue, just in different ways. It's like she is processing it as she's saying it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't scripted, it wasn't planned from her. It just kind of like all word vomits out. And so that's why she says the same thing a couple times again. And I think not cutting back to Mitzi is what kind of made me laugh, because I was just imagining her reaction.
We made jokes. You made a joke like it cuts back and it's like a chair spinning and she's gone or something. Like we made a shit ton of jokes because it's like, you know, that's what we do. We make jokes.
Yeah.
And I remember telling you, it's like it reminds me of Austin Powers when he first sees Elizabeth Hurley and he's like, I bet she shags like a minx. And he goes, it's like, good thing she doesn't know that the freezing process disrupted my inner monologue. I hope I didn't just say that out loud. Like, or you said the Billy Madison thing, like after she says all that, I was like, Miss Pearl, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your incoherent rambling did you make a point. Everyone in this room is dumber now after listening to what you just said. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
And then Pearl could have been like, okay, a simple wrong would have been okay. You know, it's just, that's what people do. You know, it's parody. You know, it's what you know, scary movie.
Yeah, we joked about it. In that same scene, something about the rehearsal, the HBO show.
That too. Okay, that dude. You said that in the theater, and I unfortunately started laughing.
Yeah,
it's just because like if it just cut to Nathan Fielder right there on his little laptop thing, just like watching them and, you know, taking notes, that would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Somebody will do the YouTube edit in like 6 months or something.
We got to be there first.
Yeah, we got to capitalize on that.
Yeah. But no, it was a really good monologue. It reminded me of, well, this is stupid to say because they're just two monologues, but it reminded me of Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse. You brought up earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know, he has that whole hark speech and like, and then cuts back to Robert Pattinson. And he's like, "All right, I'll eat your lobster." You know? Like, it's kind of like that a little bit.
Yeah.
But just great work. I mean, fantastic.
Dude.
I wouldn't hold anybody's attention for 15 seconds, let alone 6 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Mia Goth did really good in this film.
I can understand why she's kind of like Ty West's muse at the moment. She's just a very, something about her. Like I can understand why, you know, you just want to put a camera on her.
Yeah.
I would do the same.
She had co-writing credits too.
Right.
So probably a little like Kill Bill, you know, and definitely getting in there, and she would know her character, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. So
she was super talented too. She would be like happy-go-lucky and then snap and then, you know, just be a super terrifying woman.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Had really good dance numbers.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
she's a
yeah.
dancer. She was in Suspiria remake, right? That's
Oh, I still haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either, but I can imagine it
I'll go watch
for
it.
her. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and from her character in X as well, Maxine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely a talented lady.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who did really good was Pearl's mother in this film.
Yeah. This is a German lady.
Yeah,
McGonagall.
Oh,
I-
God.
I'm trying to think. Was it Tandy Wright playing her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's got to be.
she's German mother, like very.
She's apparently
hard.
not. She's New Zealand, from what I read.
Oh,
She's
really?
New Zealandish.
Yeah.
She looks
She
great.
hails from the land of New Zealand.
Because she had that monologue too in the middle of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they get into an argument.
Yeah.
Ooh,
God,
she looked creepy
I
too.
want to just like push her. I mean, doesn't she get thrown down a flight of stairs? I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Spoilers, sorry.
Spoilers.
But
We're entering the spoiler section, everybody.
yeah, she was just a cold-hearted bitch. It's like,
Well, yeah. But then you, in that monologue with Mia Goth, she kind of empathizes with her. Well, she goes from hating her to empathizing her within the 6 minutes.
yeah, true.
Empathizing with her. Because she's like,
But at
she
the-
was just trying to do what she thought was right, give us a home, blah, blah, blah. But the character is very abused. You know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the thing. Yeah, it's when I was driving over here. If I were to tell someone like, what is the character of Pearl about? I would go, oh, the story of the character of Pearl is a sad story. I think it's. I was like, where the fuck am I getting this from? I think it's Gandalf in the Fellowship of the Ring when he's talking
Oh,
about Gollum
yeah.
and Moria.
Oh, okay.
I think he says something like that. He's like, he hates and loves the ring just like how he hates and loves himself.
Yeah.
And Gollum Smeagol does have a very sad backstory, much like Pearl and X.
Mhm.
When you find out what happened to Pearl, it's a very sad story.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, see, the thing is that I have a lot of remorse and sadness for Pearl. But one thing I didn't like was when the projectionist kind of catches her in a lie when she goes like, oh yeah, you know, we have a dog, we got a dog in the basement. It's actually her mother. And you know, when he's like, what's, because that was going off on all these tangents, all the animals are named after like stars at the time, like
Mhm.
there's a cow named Charlie, I guess that's Charlie Chaplin. I didn't catch
Okay.
any of the other names, but she's
The alligator was named something. I can't
oh,
remember now.
Peter, which I almost want to, I don't know if that's a Peter Pan reference with the crocodile and the clock.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
I don't know if that's what they were going for.
I want to look all those up
Yeah.
later.
But my point, what the fuck was here's my fucking point, dude. Here's my fucking point. So he's like, what's the name of your dog? It's like, we don't have a dog. And he catches her in the lie. He's like, I gotta get back to the projection booth.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you don't. You're lying to me. It's like, oh, okay, Pearl. So you can lie to him, but he can't lie to you. It's like, that's not fucking fair. You,
Well,
you
yeah.
wacky
She's different.
lady.
She's different. There's something
She
different
plays by
about
her
her.
own rules, and she switches.
She's loose. You are loose. And you twink. Nothing but a loose lush, Pearl.
You guys were pointing out how the crowd was laughing at her like monologues and her staring at the camera and stuff, but I also heard somebody like a couple rows in front of us say like "run, fool, run" at like
For
certain
sure.
points.
Yeah.
Like it's another one of those fun ones with the audience.
Yeah.
You know, you have the
Yeah.
audience laughing, going
Yeah.
ooh, ooh,
hmm
run. Those are always fun.
Yeah. I bet some X scenes would have been fun. The reverse onto Pearl. car
Oh,
reverse from that
yeah.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was watching like, oh shit, or maybe when they're filming Maxine's sex scene and it like the camera like cuts to between her and Pearl.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah.
So I was
Oh,
last night,
yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
I think I remember a lot of like
Exactly.
groaning during X, like especially during the old people sex scene.
Yeah,
The whole-
anything with old people.
The land. I like how the movie just stops to they just stop to sing Landslide.
Dude, yeah, that cracked me up.
Yeah,
I was like,
and the
what is
split
happening?
screen with the old people kind of getting intimate and they're just playing Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. What do you guys think about the two soundtracks in these films?
Very good.
Very what's it called? Of their time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's very of its time.
yeah,
Well, X has a lot of like "Don't Fear the Reaper," like actual real world songs. I'm trying to think of the other
I
ones.
would have chosen a different song for that.
Landslide. You didn't like Don't Fear the Reaper?
I do, but at the same time, it's just like it was using Halloween. It's the whole
Yeah.
I gotta have more cowbell. It's like maybe use another song.
Yeah.
That song is already associated. It's like "Where's My Mind" at the end of Fight Club. I remember Eli
Mhm.
Roth, that hack fraud, put it in the end of his fucking movie.
Oh,
okay.
Keanu Reeves. I'm like,
I didn't know that.
it's just like I'm like, sorry, Fight Club did it before you and did it way better.
Citizens don't fear
But at the same
the
time,
reaper.
you know, It is good. Like it is I like that scene
I
a
like
lot.
Don't Fear the Reaper in X because of the guitar solo when
Yeah,
it's really like
right.
elevating. You don't get that, I don't think, in Halloween.
No,
Yeah.
no, you just
It's
get
just him chasing them.
The day we recorded our theme song
Mm-hmm.
for our channel, I was playing that on guitar because in
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
the day we recorded that was the day after we saw X.
Ah, look at that.
I
That's
kept
cool.
playing that. I kept telling like, remember this fucking song is in the movie we saw last time? Remember that?
Remember this song?
Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah, no. And then in Pearl, it's way more of like an orchestra.
Yeah,
It feels like the
strings.
1920s, 1910s,
Yeah.
1920s.
It also feels more like original scores too, because
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
recognize too many of the tunes in Pearl.
Yeah.
I
don't
can't
really,
think of
but
any.
I don't really listen to that kind of music. But
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
true. Yeah, you know. Someone's like, this song
Mhm.
slaps. Someone looking just like Pearl, like right in front of us in the theater.
what'd you guys think of the COVID analogy in Pearl?
I thought it was poignant. You know, it's funny.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
I think there's like a theme in the two movies of like timelessness, like things
Yeah.
coming back around.
Yep.
Even like the hair and makeup, like the projectionist in Pearl. I feel like you could drop that guy into today, nobody would blink an eye. Like his haircut. He's got like the undercut kind of, and just like a little mustache.
The director guy.
The projectionist?
projectionist.
Oh,
from
okay.
Pearl.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
The John Hamm sounding guy.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
in-
he did sound like John Hamm. That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. And then in X, Mia Goth's character Maxine, she has like that purple eyeshadow and stuff on.
Yeah.
And like I think X was it was just last year, right?
It's this year.
Yeah, earlier this year, like February.
I mean, Euphoria has been big for a while, and like they
Oh.
inspired all these like makeup trends and stuff. And one of them, I think, is to do, you know, like a bunch of eyeshadow on like different colored eyeshadows and like stuff like that. So anyway, I just felt like those two things, you could have put those you didn't have to put them in a 70s movie or a 1910s movie. You could do that today. And then plus the same stuff happening, the flu in Pearl, the Spanish flu, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which when COVID first hit in real life, a lot of people were making the parallels between COVID and the Spanish flu.
My grandpa kept telling me, he's like, you know, you're like one of our relatives died in it apparently.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Oh,
A lot of people did. Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed this time.
Yeah.
And thankfully we didn't.
They talk about like quarantining and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
you don't
all
have the bug, do you?
the bitchy moms though, you know, like when you go in town, you know, make sure you stay away from everyone and this and that. It's like that's the reason why your father's like this, you know, and we can't go into town to get him help and this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's wearing those big baggy masks in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even mentioned at one point, like, it's hard to tell who people are with these masks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we refined it a little bit in 2022. They're the smaller masks. not the
That
big puffy.
Matthew McConaughey wore on his crotch next.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
We found a better use for these. Now protect from STDs.
Shit's too funny.
I think it was really smart to include that in this film. Kind of gives it more lets the audience connect with this old 1918 film a little bit better.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like both of them kind of, it seems like they're in like a depression era on both of them, you know, at least at the farm.
When is the depression was right about to hit in 1918, right? Wasn't that the 20s when the depression hit? So they were kind of on the verge of it.
30s, right?
Well, 20s
Roaring
was like
20s.
20s was when everybody was popping and
Oh,
having
never
fun,
mind. It
and
was
then
at the end of the
30s.
20s. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
Like late
Got my
20s.
decade mixed up a little.
Yeah, but on the farm, like in Pearl, times are tough. You know, they're cutting everything back. It's because they're German, and because World War I is going on. So I think they said the farmhands didn't want to associate with Germans, so they all dipped out.
That was interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get the pig, and they don't eat the pig.
Yeah,
just leave it to get maggot infested.
Maggoty. Yeah, and then in X, you know, the Wayne, the producer of the porno, he's like, yeah, they're hard up for money, so that's why they would accept
They were renting
us.
out the boarding.
Yeah,
where the hell?
So did you guys? I'm sure it's been talked about quite a bit, but I just saw it. So on X, did you get the feeling like they do this often?
I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
let's talk
Jenna
about some
Ortega
spoilers.
finds the body in the basement. So I guess
What
I thought that was
body?
I thought that was the projection or the cameraman.
No, he's in front of the truck. They find his body. Remember, like when they're looking at the body, and
there's cameraman, and then there's producer, and that's the guy wearing like the tidy whities and stuff, and he's like kind of bigger. Wayne, he's like the charming one. He's the one telling the cameraman, like, look, bro, like he's gonna bang your chick, like You gotta let her do it, blah blah blah.
I don't think it was either of them because
Oh, okay.
Because they do say, you know, oh, he's still in the barn.
Yeah.
He's stuck like the pig he is. Like,
and so old guy I think was telling Kid Cudi that, you know, like, yeah, you know, like a little while ago there was a man, there was someone like you here looking at my wife.
Yeah,
I just thought that was the implication.
Maybe that was him.
Guy
Yeah,
in the Jen Ortega finds in the basement.
Spoilers, but there's the parallel in the two films. She dumps the car in the swamp, the projectionist
reminded
car.
me of Psycho very much.
Oh yeah. And then in X, when Kid Cudi's out there, he's like looking around and he sees I want to say like a Volkswagen Beetle just sitting there in the river.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of in the same spot.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was supposed to be the same car or not, because the one was black and then one was white later. But it could have been.
Well, which goes back to your question. Maybe they're just doing this over and over again
to basically like feed her pearls.
They're just very sexually frustrated.
Yeah, my heart.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, some people were like, "Let's not age shame old people. You know, they need to have sex too." Because I think some people thought it might have been a little exploitive. Like, "Ooh, isn't this gross? They're having sex. Isn't that disgusting?" It's like, hey, old people gotta have sex too.
Well, I think I said it before we were recording, but it kind of sometimes reminded me of Jackass with when they dress up as Irving Zisman and then Spike Jonze would be like the wife.
Yep.
Like when he's squirting breast milk.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, look at these old people.
Yeah.
And old people as killers is kind of funny, you know. Just sort of shambling after like the young folks. It still works. It's a fucking horror movie. Yeah. Pearl has a similar scene. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah, let's do spoilers, guys.
I thought there were some parallels too in like characters. Again, going back to like kind of things change, but not really. Like the projectionist from the first one, I could kind of see a little bit of him and the cameraman from X, and then also the producer from X, which is maybe why Pearl, you know, stabbed the shit out of the cameraman so much. At least in part, why she hated Wayne so much, the producer.
Okay.
That's why you think I just thought she stabbed the cameraman all that because he rejected her.
Oh, maybe that too.
That's what I got out of it.
You know, just anger, just all of it.
Again, just like, you know, I used to be pretty.
Yeah, all of it coming together. Yeah. I could see a little bit of both. Also, she has the line like, you know, in X, I hate blondes, and of course, like, in Pearl, she gets rejected.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Dance audition in favor of a blonde.
A younger blonde with blue eyes.
Yeah, who she then chases down. Also with Wayne, he gets stabbed with a pitchfork through the barn. There's like 3 little holes, and he's poking through them, and he gets stabbed.
Yeah.
It's the same way she kills same weapon that she uses on the projectionist. You know.
I got the projectionist is almost like he's like a trailblazer for pornography. He wants to get his stag. When they're showing the stag film, I'm like, they should have shown the one that Teddy's watching in Friday the 13th part 4.
Oh God!
When he walks up, he's like, tickle, tickle,
tickle. When she came back to the projection, she but like knocked on the door and like she doesn't get an answer, and she walks in, and it's Crispin Glover and Teddy smoking a joint, laughing their asses off at this stag movie.
Yep, it could have been, should have been. Maybe that would have fit more in X than Pearl, I guess.
True.
Yeah,
true.
But the same thing with the producer in X. You know, he's trying to break into the home video market. They just did Debbie Does Dallas, and that did 50,000 or whatever. I'm gonna just sell twice as much. They're both like, you know, exploitative a little bit, pornography trailblazers.
Yeah.
But I also think all the characters outside of Pearl and I can't remember her husband's name, Howard. They're not really like bad people. None of them are really bad people. Like, none of them go and take advantage of them or anything. It's all kind of stemming from Pearl and her like abuse and just her problems. And
you know, like when she killed the goose, it's just like, hey, at least she fed it to the gator.
Yeah. You know,
it's not just like
she cared about the gator.
Yeah, it's like at least, you know, the gator got nourishment out of it. Yeah, I don't know, like
it wasn't mindless killing, but then she smashes the egg. Later on, so
right.
It's like, she does like to just kill for killing's sake.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, man. It's like I actually, when you brought up Joker, I actually thought it was much better in this movie. That whole aspect, like, you know, and again, she's like, I think I'm sick. She's like, oh God, you coming down, and just like that's the sad thing. It's like she knows, you know,
she knows something's wrong with her.
It reminds. So there's a part in Bowling for Columbine. I guess I shouldn't really bring this up because the person in a subject is canceled now. But Michael Moore's talking to Marilyn Manson, and he asks him, you know, if you were to say anything to the killers at Columbine, what would you say? And Marilyn Manson said, you know, I wouldn't said a single word to them. I would have listened. That's what no one did.
Mhm.
It's like the same thing with her. You know, it's like no one listens.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No one cares.
I think the door's locked.
Oh, it is.
Who is it?
Oh,
Who is that?
Do you mind getting it?
Which door?
The outside one.
Oh,
Who is that?
who can it be?
It might be a guest.
Oh, we got one.
Oh, it's not
We
locked.
got one.
Get in here, boy.
Yeah.
Juan was there watching Pearl with us last night.
Should we scoot over at all?
Oh, yeah. Get in here, Juan.
Who can it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't come around here no more.
Yeah.
Plug Juan in, boys. Plug
Welcoming
Juan
in
in.
Yeah, here, let me see your
Juan.
microphone.
Who can it be?
Yeah, we were just talking about how Pearl's messed up the character herself.
Why? It just
But-
makes me so sad.
But it is sort of like a
Therefore-
tragic thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone would have just listened to
Yeah,
her.
exactly. Like Marilyn Manson, you know, sucks he's canceled now, but he was kind of an intelligent response.
No, I always liked that. I've seen that video a few times. I've never seen Bowling for Columbine, but I've seen
Oh,
that
I would-
clip a couple times.
Again, Michael Moore is kind of a controversial figure at times, but I've always liked that movie
Mhm.
documentary.
Yeah. No, right. I mean, she does listen to Pearl. Mitzi does, but then.
But not really though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
she's
you
very
know?
shallow. Like
Yeah,
Mitzi as a
exactly.
character. She's almost like too nice to a fault. She can't even lie.
Oh, Mitzi, yeah.
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 Can't even lie properly.
I almost kind of wondered if she just told Pearl that she got the part just to be like, yeah, okay, if that's what you want to hear, sure. Yeah,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking
knows?
too.
She's like, really? I didn't get the part. And Pearl's like, it's okay. You don't have to lie.
Yeah, it's like okay, if that's what you want to hear.
She's lying, bro.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, what'd you think of it, Juan?
yes.
Pearl.
I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. Like, I didn't like it as much as X. I feel like overall, I feel like it was much a slower pace
For sure.
and everything. I don't know what like it was interesting just to see her like character development and stuff like that, to see like how
Why she became a killer
why
old
she
lady?
became a killer old lady and stuff like that.
Sexually
But
frustrated.
Yes.
yeah, it was mainly that was all sexual stuff, but but honestly, like I don't know. But yeah, it was good. But
I think I liked Pearl better because of the performance that Mia Goth gave. I think that it was an
Hmm.
amazing performance, and that's
Remember,
what really
have you
got
said- have you
me.
said which one you like better?
No,
you
I
know
don't,
the
I
answer?
don't know. It's a tough one. I definitely think the performances in Pearl are probably better.
hmm.
You know, in X, like I think it's intentional. The characters are pretty shallow. Like
Yeah.
I think a Kid Cudi's character, his one trait, literally like his one trait. Well, I guess two traits. He's a porn guy, and then two
Vietnam background.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
Yeah.
And he just constly all the time is like, you know, saying veteran stuff. And
It's like I was in a rice paddy down for 3 nights.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
If your wife's out here, I'll find her.
I did 2 tours in South
Yeah,
Vietnam.
yeah.
You know, his blonde girlfriend, pretty shallow. She just wants
Yeah.
to be, you know, Mia Goth's character and Maxine and X probably has the most depth out of anybody.
They
Yeah, that's
they
true.
have a parallel. She's like, you know, why are you staring at, like, you know, stop staring at me. And Pearl says the same thing at the cow at one
Yeah.
point. She's like, stop staring
No,
at me.
yeah, definitely. That's a whole theme of the two things as well. Is Maxine and Pearl are very much like the same. She mentions it in X, you know, she reminds me of myself. And then when you watch Pearl, you get to see like her say all the same things. You know, I want to be a
Mm.
star, all this and that.
Yeah,
the
so
Wizard of Oz thing.
she's all like, yeah, I want to be like Linda Carter or some shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you want to be like the first lady? And I'm like, oh no, Linda Carter's fucking Wonder Woman.
Dakota.
And so he's like, go get the Wonder Bread, Wonder Woman. Yeah. It's like, you don't want to hang out with John Wayne Gacy? Come on.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. As for which one I like more, I don't know. That's a tough call. I would probably say X because it leans more to like my
Yeah, same.
wheelhouse, I
My
guess.
style.
Yeah, exactly.
My
A
style.
lot of like
your
homages
style,
to
dude.
movies that I like, you know. But I still thought like Pearl was really well done. Definitely by far the best performance out of any of the movies is Mia Goth as Pearl,
Yeah.
young Pearl. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz thing is cool. It's very different, like Scarecrow in this movie.
The
than
Yeah.
Scarecrow scene, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, what is that? It's like codeine, like morphine or something.
Oh yeah,
that
it was
she's
like a
giving her dad.
morphine.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
I think it is amorphine right,
Wow,
on the
okay.
bottle.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she takes like a sip of it and then like dry humps a
Yeah.
man
That's
made of straw.
that's the other thing too. Killing her dad, it's like it's probably better off, you know.
Yeah, that was a mercy killing
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't really see any malice in the palace with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
you
felt
know,
bad about it though.
exactly. Yeah, and you know, really, it's like that guy. Honestly, again, it's like that's no. She even said, "There's no way to live," whatever.
Mhm.
For
And
sure.
it's true. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time I was watching him. I was like, damn,
Yeah, it's like
I
that's
wanna
got to
live
suck
like
to be
that.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kill off Grandpa.
Yeah.
Grandpa kills. Grandpa's the best killer.
Yeah, Grandpa was the best killer there ever was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's just confined to watch all this shit go down.
Yeah.
That was one of the bigger laughs I think of the theater. Is like
Yeah.
she like pulls down her mom's body into the basement or whatever, and like throws the other guy into the pond, and comes back, and the dad's just like scared shitless, basically,
Yeah.
as little as he can, as much as he can, you know, emote. But yeah, for me, I just think X is a little better. It moved a little faster.
Mm.
Yeah, that's something Juan brought. Yeah, I agree with Juan
Yeah.
and you on that. Yeah.
They're both very like you know, auteur, like stylistic. I had asked you guys in the theater, like, did they do a lot of wipe transitions in
And
X as
yeah,
well? They do.
yeah,
They're different, but they're, you know, it's the same idea. It's like the idea you're watching a movie, like, you know, you're watching a movie, you know, you're seeing like this visual performance and stuff like that. And so Pearl was probably prettier than X, you know. It had all those
Yeah.
bright colors and all that stuff, but I don't know. I just think the slasher aspect to X puts it just a step above for me.
Yeah.
Sticking with the color theme, though, the projectionist's alley. I don't know if you guys noticed. Usually, alleyways, like in Batman, they're super dark and
Yeah,
dank
it's
and
very
rainy.
bright.
His was very bright. There was a lot of colors. The pipes were like
Mm.
rainbow colored in a way.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of like hanging lights in the alleyway, and I think it's supposed to be like an attractive, like a fun house. Like, come on in. You want that stardom in a way. It's supposed to be very attractive and alluring.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting choice to make such a pretty alleyway.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
Well, everything about the projectionist too,
right.
as well.
I was almost waiting for him to have something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Even when he shows her the stag film,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, damn, is he about to like
Yeah,
sexually assault her?
take
or
off
something?
your
Yeah,
clothes,
that's what I was
yeah.
thinking too the whole time. I was
Yeah.
like, especially when he was like leaning closer to her
Yeah,
while she was
creeping
watching the
behind
film.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make one?
Yeah.
I
Put
think
you in pictures.
Yeah.
Take off your clothes.
right.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that was supposed to make you feel that way, but then it turns out he's really not that bad of a guy.
It actually
Um,
turns out to be Mia Goth when he goes over her house.
Mm.
Yeah, she's the psycho. She's the
I-
Kathy Bates in Misery of
Yeah,
know,
I get
this
a few
farmhouse.
psycho. So dump in the car and the drink, very psycho-y. But also Pearl in the window in X, you know, old decrepit woman in a window. It's very psycho-y too.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
She mentions it
callbacks.
to the.
Oh yeah, like
Director.
yeah.
He's like, you can't change the movie in the middle of a
They
movie,
did
and
it in
she's like,
Psycho. He's like,
yeah.
well, that was a horror film. That's not the kind of film I'm making.
Dude, yeah. Then he gets like traumatized by like filming her, like her
Yeah.
and Kid Cudi, and then like he's in the shower, and I was
Crying.
thinking, yeah, I was like, damn, is he gonna die in the shower like Psycho? Because that'd be pretty good.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well,
Yes,
well,
that
not-
was an interesting response to that. Would you guys go and cry in the shower like that?
I don't think so.
I don't
but-
think I don't. But I mean, maybe if you love someone that much enough, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Who
we're
knows?
more open minded. We're free, baby.
True,
Peace
yeah,
and love
we're
generation.
very
He-
progressive.
Yeah, he was, but I did like feel for him, like when he's in the shower, because
Oh,
I could just see, like, damn, he's what's the word, like shocked, like
Traumatized,
maybe?
Yeah. Like, I don't. Does Pearl ever get traumatized even like that?
Mm.
Does she ever get like stopped in
Yeah,
her tracks?
yeah, like at the when she gets rejected at the whatever the hell,
yeah.
the dance hall
I'm
or
a
the church.
star.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was a good one
Yeah.
too.
and that's another callback.
people were laughing at that
Call
too when
forward.
she was crying. People were laughing in the theater.
Mm.
Yeah, sheds a lot of tears in Pearl.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's another creative choice. Like by Ty West, I was saying he hangs on her a lot, and he could have like just had her go, "No, I'm a star," and then end the scene. But he decided to hang on to her and like see like the little freak out she does because she's like a younger girl in this film,
Mm.
very maybe immature.
Yeah.
I think at one point she says to the projectionist, "I don't know if I'm normal. I never get off my farm and talk to other normal people. So how do I know if I'm an actual normal person?"
Mm.
And you can see she's she might be like a normal person, but she is very like immature because she's not like integrated with society
Yeah.
because of the Spanish flu and trying to stay
Mhm.
away from that.
Well, again, it's like I can lie to you, but you can't lie to me. It's like, no, doesn't work that way, bitch. Come on.
Yeah,
Gotta-
she's.
I mean, I guess it does. Life isn't fair, but at the same time, it's like, come on, you can't get pissed off at me for lying to you when you lie to me. Come on, what is this bullshit? Come on.
She's not all there. She has different
Yeah.
like, standards, and she was
Yeah.
messed up by her mom.
Exactly.
So too.
Yeah, the mom is just like, yeah,
It's like nature and nurture with Pearl.
Yeah.
You know, like something's wrong with her, but then she also gets put in this environment where like she always says, you know, there was no love for her.
yeah,
And like it seemed like her dad and her had a good relationship, and then
Yeah.
he gets paralyzed,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
yeah. That's why it's just like, you know, like what is the 8 cent? The rest, the 8 cents. You know, I bought some hard candy. It's like, well, then again, you will not have the rest of your dinner then, or like you will go sleep outside. It's like, go fuck yourself. God, let her have all the hard candy she wants. She's fucked up in the head. Let her.
Yeah, and the mom knows
Be-
that too.
be nice.
You find out like later on that the mom's like, yeah, I've seen all the stuff you do.
got to be like Patrick Swayze in Red House. Just be nice. What she calls my mama a whore, is she?
Just be nice. They say that in X, actually, I think. Like the Howard is like, I don't like any of you, and then he leaves, and they're like, you're just gonna let him talk about that? And Wayne's like, come on, let's just be cool. Let's just get this done. Be cool, honey bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. he is like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently that guy was in The Ring. Have you guys ever seen The Ring?
I've seen The Ring. I don't remember.
He's
any
the
other
he's
people from
the
it.
he's the main guy in The Ring.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I found that out yesterday. I would never guess that. Got the guy's name,
Yeah.
but yeah, I had no clue.
No, that's one I saw like as a kid. That one creeped me out too. I think
it's got a goofy scene with a horse, from what I recall.
I thought I said something last night that reminded me of The Ring with this movie, but
I think you did too, actually.
Yeah,
That sounds familiar.
Pearl.
Was it? No, it was the trailer for Smile.
Oh yeah.
That-
That's
yeah,
what it was.
yes,
Yeah, we saw
yeah.
the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, I remember saying that.
Horror movie trailers never get me going. They more often will turn me off from a movie than turn me on to.
But X did for me, because I'm the
was a
same
good
way.
trailer.
But I think we saw a trailer for X when we saw Jackass.
mhm.
I want to say it was earlier this year, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And these are two things I want to talk about, which could either be in these movies good positives or negatives. When I saw this, I was like, "That looks awesome." You know, it's like it takes place in the 70s. It's not another fucking Halloween movie. It's not. It's really. I think because we kind of in a way championed this when this movie came out. We talked about it. I want to say like a decent amount, Carlos, on the channel, like and we brought things up like, you know, when we were going to see movies. We didn't do a review at the time, but we were saying like, you know, like we really liked X. And the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie came out around the same time, and you showed me clips of it. And I was just like, yeah, they went and made a better Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie than the actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's like, yeah, good on them. It's like, stop making these fucking movies.
Yeah.
Leave the Halloweens, the Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
Nightmare on
some
leave them
original
alone.
IP.
We have like 12 of them for the Friday the 13th. We have like 7 or 8 for Nightmare. It's just like leave them. Like I think we have about 12 now for Halloween. Just leave them the fuck alone.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, Ian, I think you're gonna bring up the Funhouse.
Yeah. So this is a Toby Hooper movie, and I guess when quarantine happened, Ty West watched a bunch of Toby Hooper movies, and you can definitely see that with X, with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and B, a movie he did called Eaten Alive about a crocodile.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking awesome, because Toby Hooper was a person that he's kind of Rodney Dangerfield. He didn't get a lot of respect. Like people to this day say he didn't direct Poltergeist. Steven Spielberg did, which I don't know if we'll ever get the true answer to that. But these guys I watch on YouTube, they're called Dead Pit. They said they were really big in the horror convention circuit in the 2000s. They said like Toby Hooper never went to them. He was, I don't know, like, you know, Edwin Neal said if he ever saw him again, he would kill him. You know, like he apparently got fired from the Funhouse. He apparently got fired from Eating Alive. I don't know if those are true or not.
Wow.
Just a lot of weird stuff revolving Toby Hooper. Right? He had a drug problem. You can see that in some of his his movie Life Force is fucking insane, but in a good way. It's fun. Yeah, I'm glad that, you know, people like Ty West are kind of giving homage to someone like Toby Hooper. Some people are also saying that it's just a ripoff and too derivative of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in those movies. I don't know, man. I can. It's like people said that about Quentin Tarantino for years. He's just a collage artist. He just like takes something from a kung fu movie from the 70s. He takes something from a blaxploitation from the 70s. But at the same time, you're making it your own thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it works out.
Exactly.
It's
I
like
mean,
we all have our influences.
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, there's plenty of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like I said earlier, in both of these movies, but it's not like an exact clone or anything. It's not a remake. It's not a
Did you see
rehashing
the remake they made in the 2000s?
of Texas. No.
I think X like captures the 70s feel better than that movie.
Mm.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of that movie.
Well, that's what Ty West, the director, said when X originally released. He sent out an email to everybody and said, "Hey guys, I was just stuck in quarantine and I've been studying a lot of Tobe Hooper films, like you said, Eaten Alive with the crocodiles in there." So that's exactly what he did. Is he just pulled influence and just made his own type of film.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I really like people who are influenced, like you're saying, Quentin Tarantino. He's influenced by a lot of films, but he can make them his own.
Yeah.
And it's also like, who has time to study all those films too, that like Quentin Tarantino's watching?
Right.
Like I've never heard of most of those films that he talks about on his podcast.
Yeah.
But he can take those and show them to a mass audience.
Exactly. That's why it's like, hopefully people watching X, they'll be like, I want to go watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I want to go watch Eaten Alive.
That's what inspired me to watch Texas Chainsaw, was after watching
that's
X.
right. Yeah, because we reviewed it. Yeah, not too long after.
Yeah.
They were just missing the slam, one of the sliding doors.
Yeah.
Yes. They have those like staircase shots of the front door with the screen door opening in Pearl.
Yeah.
And there's like the red wallpaper.
And X2, I want to say also.
Yeah, same barn, same farm.
Yeah.
The dinner, like the setup of the dinner table. Ugh, the maggot-eating pig. Yeah, that was crazy. And
pork sausage, abadi, that's all, folks. When it does that at the end, you're like the porky pig. I'm like, oh my god.
That Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that was again.
We were talking about Mia Goth's monologue earlier. What'd you think about that long monologue in the end when she's just sitting there talking about everything she's done? Did you like it?
I don't know. I feel like it fit her character. Like, just kind of like drove you more into her insane, crazy mind that she had. Like of her personality, that she just had to get it all out pretty much and like talk it out and stuff like that. But
she said the quiet part out loud.
Right.
Basically, but I feel like it fit her because it's just like how crazy she was, like how like messed up she was in the head, that she wasn't afraid to like let it all out.
What I told them was, to me, that was really, really sad. It's because she's like, I think I'm sick. It's like she knows. That's the thing. It's like, it's even more sad when the crazy person knows they're crazy.
Like she knows there's something wrong with her, but nobody's there to help her.
That's the thing too. It's like maybe she's just a victim of her time period. Maybe people just didn't know what the again, like, people thought homosexuality was a mental illness until like the 50s or the 60s. Maybe people didn't know how to, just treat how she acted back then. We were just too primitive still. I don't know. Like, it's sad.
Probably a lot of how her mom tried to deal with it and just repress it, basically.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that you're saying is sexuality was repressed. In X, our hero Mia Goth, she plays Maxine. In the end, it's revealed that her father was a preacher, and he's preaching about all the sin in the world, and you shouldn't be doing anything. But the star Maxine, she's doing cocaine. She's like, I'm gonna be a star one day,
She wants to get out all that too.
I didn't know what she said at first when I rewatched it yesterday. She's like, I'm a fucking sex symbol. I was like, you're a what? You're what? And then I was like, oh, you're a sex symbol.
Okay.
You're a fucking sex symbol.
No, she said it like funny, like it's like a sex symbol. You're what? You have a synth symbol? You have a drum kit? What?
Because takes place in Texas, right? Texas.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh right, because he's like, I can't go to Houston.
Yeah.
I gotta come out here to small town Texas or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, like, what did you guys think of in X when old lady Pearl like comes up with Mia Goth in bed, and Maxine and like starts stroking her and like kissing on her and stuff like that? Like I wonder if that has anything to do with. I didn't take it as like a homosexuality thing. I took it more of like her trying to be her, basically.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
making out with her younger self,
I
essentially.
agree.
Wishes
yeah.
she could go back in time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big theme throughout both movies too. Is like live now while you're young and make the best of it because you won't be young forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when Mitzi says that to Pearl, that really fucked her up, man.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
she spent the next 60 years murdering little like young people to
Yeah.
I don't even know retain her youth or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Howard.
I thought that was interesting though, is Maxine, she's trying to break away from the religious aspect. Whereas Pearl, there's not really too much religion in that film. It's more just her mom, almost in a way. That's the thing about her mom is she's explaining like, I have to take care of the farm because your dad's sick. Like these are real life things. We're being discriminated against because we're Germans during World War One. So we got to be really careful. And we got the flu out there, so they have like different priorities and things. And the mom, she almost makes sense in a way. She's like, I know you're sick, so can you just like help out around the farm instead of like trying to escape all the time?
It's just the way she goes about it. It's fucked
Well,
up.
she doesn't. And
You're
again,
gonna fail.
she doesn't really listen to. I feel like she doesn't really listen to Pearl. Again,
Right.
you know, it's like she's just.
I think she's just being super realistic though for her
She-
time.
It's like
for
a
her
Great
time period.
Depression
Yes, yeah.
era type. Even though this is before the Depression, it's still that same mentality of like, no time for
But-
fun. Like we gotta work. Bro.
But that's her downfall, though. That's why Pearl's so fucked up. It's like if you know that she's sick, then maybe don't be a fucking total bitch to her the entire time. You know, it's like
yeah,
like you're causing the shit to hit the fan here, lady. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you got to be self-aware.
yeah.
I don't
That's the
know.
thing. She's like, someday you're gonna hurt somebody and do this and that.
It's
And
like,
I'm,
see the
I'm
way
thinking
it's
it's gonna
like-
be you.
Yeah,
Like, you're the one
it's
yelling
like,
at her right
yeah,
now.
you wacky broad. Like, come on.
And she gets caught on fire by accident, I think, or maybe not. I don't know. Pearl seems to push her towards the fireplace.
That's
but then
kind of funny.
she's surprised when she catches on fire, and her clothes are made out of starch.
I was gonna
something.
say, yeah, it's like what they douse her with, like lighter fluid.
Yeah, whatever
beforehand.
whatever the base
She
is
went
made
up-
of in Deep
she
Blue
went up
Sea,
real quick.
it's the same material they use for her
Yeah.
clothes.
Oh, Christian, is he saying?
He says, "I'm a new man."
Yeah,
Yes,
looking
yes.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'm a respectable member of society now. I'm not one of those long hairs anymore.
When I came up to you in the theater yesterday. I was like, "Yeah, you look like you like if I were at a library, I'd be like, oh yeah, sir, do you know where the J.G. Ballard books are?"
I'm looking for some R.L. Stein.
You've come to the right man.
Yeah,
That's my specialty.
Man of taste.
Yeah, finally.
Do you see R.L. Stein's releasing his first adult Goosebumps book?
No,
That's
Oh,
coming
really?
soon. Yeah.
That's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
That's fucking interesting. Man.
That's different.
Christian said something else. What do you say?
I wonder.
Aha. Aha.
Was it
Aha.
pissed
Aha.
Yeah, and that's it's knowing not knowing much about X. I thought it was more focused on like the teens and or young adults doing their like porno. But I was surprised how much of Pearl and Howard are in that movie. It ends up being almost like 50-50.
Yeah.
And so that makes more sense why they would do like a prequel in Pearl, because I remember going into it thinking like, yeah, I thought they were like making a porno. It's kind of interesting to just give like the killer lady, because I knew that it was an old lady killer. That was about all I knew about X. But yeah, no, she has a big part in both these movies. I'm interested to see what happens with the third one, Maxine.
Right.
Yes.
Because I saw
Right.
they said it was like 1984 or something, so it's like
Yeah.
a handful of years after what happens in X. With Maxine. It's going to be Mia Goth again, obviously.
And it looks like it's going to have the 80s theme.
Yeah,
Mm.
for
We've been
sure.
watching a lot of 80s themes recently
Yeah.
too. So
That was one thing too. Some people like it, some people don't, and I'm kind of conflicted on it because it's like, this year, so we get X takes place in 1979. We get this takes place in 1918. We get the Black Phone, I think takes place 78, 79. And I really like period pieces, but at the same time, it's like, are we stuck in period? Are we like kind of
Oversaturating a little bit.
yeah?
well, there's
like-
some contemporary films like Smiles coming out.
Right.
So
I guess
Barbarian.
Your buddy,
right?
yeah, Ozzy was saying Barbarian's really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, because really, like recently, like Nope was it's there.
Nope was pretty modern, yeah.
Oh no, but I'm saying like, it's like I like X, I like Pearl, I like Black Phone. Where are the contemporary ones? Nope.
Did you like Last Night in Soho?
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh, Soho was good
I need
too.
to watch that. Yeah.
But even that one kind of has like
It
period.
goes back to the 60s or something
Yeah.
at times, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's just some people say like it's just so much easier to make a horror film setting back then because they didn't have cell phones.
Mhm.
They didn't have modern technology to help them out, so it kind of helps. I'm sure the writing and the plot. I don't know. It's
For sure.
tough because like honestly, man, if I were to write a horror movie, it would be kind of cool to set it in the past, but also at the same time, I don't want to again just like.
Do you think they're gonna like overdo that whole?
Well, it's
something like that?
yeah, because again, like Stranger Things, like we the 80s nostalgia, or just like the kind of what do you call it, admiration for that gritty, like Rob Zombie did that with all of his fucking movies. Like you could tell like he's a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan by shooting on 16 millimeter and making it look really dirty and gritty and gross. It's like
Hellbilly.
yeah,
That's his
still
style.
deluxe.
Yeah.
But
That's what I like
know.
about Pearl is it's 1918. We don't see too many of those,
that's true.
except for the film that I let you see,
I
1917.
was gonna say.
We're
That
one
I
year
lent
off.
you. Yeah.
That's right, you did. I bought that movie.
Oh, cool.
After
Yeah.
watching it,
Yeah, that's a good movie.
it was
too.
on sale, and I was like, yeah, that's a very great movie.
Maybe like 90s, 2000s are up next. We're gonna see a bunch of Matrix tributes or something.
Gimme. That's my favorite
Matrix
era.
4,
Gimme.
but-
Oh God,
Are they making a Matrix 5?
I fucking hope
Okay.
not.
Let's go. Another trilogy, baby.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, what a
Yeah.
mess.
No, something about the past. I think that's a little bit of a theme in these movies is that things kind of stay the same. On this farm, like nothing changes. It's still Pearl and Howard 60 years later. It looks the same. They got the same wallpaper and everything.
There's
There's a flu.
I think one of the
110
things I
years
liked
ago.
too was like in Pearl they introduced what is it, the alligator or crocodile,
Hmm.
and then X takes place years later, and then they're still using that one to kill people.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Or maybe they're different ones because
Well-
Oh yeah, because they laid
okay,
eggs,
well,
right? Yeah.
But the thing, okay,
That's
so
true.
Eaten Alive, you guys should watch that fucking movie.
I'm
So,
down.
it's fucking weird as hell, but it's entertaining. It's like Chud. Like when I first saw Chud, it's the same thing. Like didn't really care for it, and then I watched it again. I'm like, there's something here. There's something here with this goofy ass movie. So the guy that owns the crocodile, because that's what he says. He's like, oh, this croc is from the Nile. Like I got it over here. It's hundreds of years old. These things have lived in prehistoric ages. And I don't know if it's just because the guy's fucking nuts and insane. He's just babbling on and on incoherent nonsense. What you just said is one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard. Or it might be true. I don't fucking know how long crocodiles or gators live for.
Yeah, dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. Either way, I was like, maybe that's an homage to Eaten Alive.
Mm.
It definitely is, but maybe the length of the gator's life.
I do like that they set up in this film though that it's almost her pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But at the same time, it's like you don't know if it's the same one or because they did lay eggs too.
Right.
That's true.
Remember
Maybe
what
that's
I'm
why
saying?
in X she had some respect for Maxine because Maxine goes skinny dipping. Because what do you do when you see a body of water in the 80s? You skinny dip right away. In the 70s horror movie, 80s. She sees her skinny dipping and like she's staring at her from behind, and I kind of got the idea she thought the alligator would eat her, or crocodile, alligator, whatever. And then it did it, and that's when she like waves at her, and they have lemonade together and stuff like that. So maybe it was like she saw her and she was like, you passed the test. You made it through the gauntlet of the lake or whatever. Even though she was almost eaten.
That was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah,
It's getting so
it's
close to her, and she just gets out.
Yeah,
Mm.
hops right out.
Yeah.
Gives tension. You're like, oh, no.
But
yeah,
but it's
for
just
sure.
like the gator was so fucking close, and she even takes her time getting out.
Yeah, no, there was
It's like you
it was
should
an
you
editing
should
thing.
you should
where it
have
was
you should have
timing.
yeah you should have like I don't know like had the gator back a little more or something. 'Cause
yeah.
it's like the gator's like right on top.
He was
of
right
her,
there, and
yeah.
she's just chilling there.
Yeah,
Like, sits there for a
it's like
second.
it would have snatched her up.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Jaws when those two guys are trying to fish.
Yeah.
Charlie and Danny DeVito and Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie. Come on, swim.
That's my
Swim,
wife's
Charlie.
rum hand.
Yeah,
Swim, Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, a little anticlimactic is true, but hey, maybe it's
fine.
maybe
though.
it's like I said, she was chosen. The crocodile's like, you look a little familiar.
Yeah, to quote Rich Evans, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm trying to think back on X when the two Mia Goths sit at the table together and drink lemonade. they don't really say too much to each other,
Not
do
at
they?
all. She chugs a lemonade and says,
Yeah, yeah,
"All right,
yeah.
well, I gotta get going," just like
Yeah.
Mitzi and the projectionist.
Yep.
You know,
Mm.
and I personally saw Pearl before X, so like I was kind of like, like there it is, you know.
Yeah.
But she's like, I can't stay mad at you, you know, Maxine. You look just like me, and you're beautiful. And I'm touching your
She's
belly and all this weird shit.
Kind of given her backstory. You know, he fought in the war.
Yeah.
Both of them, believe it or
I
not.
was young once too. I was young.
I'm kind of old now. I gotta rub my feet and hands in Epsom salt.
Is
I'm a
that
singer.
is
I
that
used to
growth?
sing.
Is that growth on Pearl's part though, by not sitting at the table again and doing a 6-minute monologue
Yeah.
to Maxine?
Yeah.
She's like, nowadays I
She lit-
listen.
Yeah.
She listened to words are meaningless and forgettable, as Depeche Mode once said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Words like
She pulled up Marilyn Manson. I listened. That's what
Yeah.
no one did.
Mm.
Yeah. I listen.
Although Maxine didn't say. Maxine's an interesting character. So I almost thought while watching it that Jenna Ortega was gonna,
Be the final girl.
yeah. You know, that whole scene when she's like, I want to be like, you know, it's almost like they're setting her up that she's gonna be like the survivor.
Yeah, I definitely thought that.
And then that's one thing Carlos says, she just get killed off screen. Oh god.
Who
Jenna Ortega.
she gets killed kind of on screen. She gets
In a way,
the
but you
shot.
know.
I liked her death. It cracked me up.
Hmm.
It's just so like sudden. Literally, she was just blasted
Yeah.
backwards as she's running out. Because at that point, obviously I knew that Maxine was gonna be the final girl, but still, I could see how they're setting it up. And then
It's just kind of
she
strange.
goes
It's
crazy at the end and like runs out.
it's kind of like almost like it's maybe again it's a psycho thing where like we're led to believe Janet Leigh's the main character and then nope.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
I'm sure this was an homage to Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, of course. Did someone order the fish?
Yeah.
If only they ordered fish. If only there was a fish in this
If it was
these
a big
fucking
fish,
movies.
they had brought her instead of a big pig.
Real quick. So when we were at the lake on Saturday, we saw a bird catch a fish and it's flying with the fish in its claws. And I was like, did someone order the fish?
No.
I wish you guys were there. Christian got it. Yeah.
They're like, Michael Rappaport? Yeah, no, I like
Classic
I always like the bait and switch in a movie where you think one person's going to be the main character and then they just get cut off, you know, killed
I
off.
feel bad for Jenna Ortega. She gets her hands fucked up too.
She
by
does,
how-
yeah. You can see like
really
the
bad for
bone
her.
like sticking out
Yeah,
and stuff.
she got a piece of the bone sticking out.
That's another character I was hoping to see a little bit more of, but I'm glad Ty West didn't do was
Jenna Ortega.
Howard
Oh, okay.
Mm.
when he comes home
Johnny
from the
Knoxville.
war.
That's it. All he says is, "Hey,
Yeah.
Pearl" or whatever.
Oh, you're talking about in Pearl.
Gets
Okay.
Yeah, in
one
Pearl.
line.
Yeah.
But then as we see in X, he's like, my wife's not well. And he kind of
Yeah.
just helps her and cleans up after her.
Which is, and you
And
know
kills
what?
for her.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Even though it's fucked up, I respect.
Yeah.
At least he's trying, man.
a man stands by his wife.
It's like, you know, at
No.
least I don't know. At least I feel like he's the only person that actually like shows some sort of affection towards
Mm.
her.
Hmm.
He is, yeah,
You know?
but it almost feels like he's trapped by her.
And that too.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's
she's
what I
like,
thought-
"Love me."
Yeah.
And he's like,
That's what I
"Ugh."
thought this movie was gonna show. I thought they were gonna show like how Howard actually supports her and like why he
Yeah.
supports her and like why is he okay with or kind of okay with everything.
But I kind of like that they leave us like not even answering that.
That bird's gonna
No,
be a
that's true,
star.
that's true.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
bird
that
blue.
bird. Yeah.
I'm gonna be a star. I don't know. I didn't really. Maybe I'll sit with it a little longer and feel better about it. But I didn't really like not knowing how he got from the end of Pearl to the start of X, because it's like, even in X, she says like, "Believe it or not, my Howard was in both wars." I was
Yeah.
thinking like, bro, if you went to the Second World War, get the fuck
I
out.
know,
Like, never
yeah,
come back. There's no
yeah.
phones. There's,
Yeah,
Mhm.
stay over in
there's
Europe.
no way she's gonna reach you.
Mm.
You know she killed your sister.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You're still gonna
and
come
your
back?
mother-in-law.
Ooh, that's
That's
a
true.
question though. Does she tell him, or does she
She just
learn
disappeared.
from the fact that maybe she shouldn't tell anybody that because she had to kill the
Right.
stepsister, so she
Yeah,
didn't
who
want to kill
knows?
Howard.
Maybe that's
knows?
it. She gave the rehearsal with Mitzi.
That's
and
right.
then
She
it didn't go
chops
so well.
she chops up the sister and
Feeds her to the
Yeah.
alligator.
Yeah.
That was kind of a funny little homage at the end, or montage, not homage.
That montage was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's like pulls the head out of the wheelbarrow and chucks it to the alligator.
Yeah.
Mm.
Here you go, Croc.
Hey.
I'm gonna call him alligator and crocodile. Like each time I
Yeah.
call it one, I'll call it the other.
I
just
thought
so I cover all my bases.
in X, it kind of looks like it because, to my knowledge, crocodiles have a thinner snout.
Mhm.
Gators have wider snouts, and I couldn't really tell. They call
Yeah.
it, they say gators, and like, there's gators out here. That's why I
Oh,
bring my
yeah.
shotgun.
Right, that's right.
I don't know. It'd be kind of. I would have liked it if like it's like, yeah, it's a croc. They brought it over from Africa or some bullshit like that, and eaten alive. It's just so funny. It's like, why did you bring this fucking thing over here?
The gator gets a kill in X. The blonde chick, she gets
Brittany
pushed
Snow.
in.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I liked the kills in X. The Kid Cudi's death and then Jenna Ortega's death.
Oh,
they're both so like quick.
See, you were talking about that yesterday. Like you didn't really care for that.
Yeah,
And
in
I might-
X because they're so quick.
I might kind of be in that same camp. Maybe it's because they thought maybe the killing the guy on the road in front of the truck or the van was maybe a little too gratuitous. Maybe let's not do that again and cut it back.
We went over the
I don't
top.
know, but
Very,
I am kind of. It's just like, oh, shotgun kill. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because again, like the Matthew McConaughey has a great kill too. The pitchfork in the eyes.
Yeah.
Great eye
It's
gouging.
just it's funny that it's like an old lady because when she's stabbing like the director in front of the lights and they get all red and everything, like it's kind of just like it looks like, I don't know, you're just spreading butter on toast or something, but it's just like, chop, chop, chop.
She's doing it really casually.
Yeah, and then the pitchfork, I'm sure she had to put a little extra oomph in it, but as an old person, you see it at the end when she shoots, when Pearl which is hilarious, when she shoots the shotgun and gets blasted back, like old people, they're not going to strangle you and like beat you in a fight.
Yeah.
Like, Jackson, the ex-2-time Vietnam vet, he wasn't going to get like lose hand to hand to Howard. So Howard just said, fuck it.
Well, it's funny. I brought this up yesterday, I think at some point. It's funny. Howard's going, my wife, she gets confused. I don't want her to come out here and break her hip. I think she ends up breaking her hip at the end or something. It's like foreshadowing.
Does she die at the end of X? Like,
yeah.
So, that's right. Yeah. She gets obliterated.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good.
I like that kill a lot too.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The blood and guts were very. Maybe that's why he thanked Eli Roth in the credits, because it felt a little Eli Roth Tarantino-esque. Actually, I did think of Tarantino, The Hateful Eight, when I'm sorry, Django Unchained, when Jenna Ortega gets shot as she's running through the screen door.
Yeah,
and she just goes flying.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like Say Goodbye to Miss Mitzi now.
Oh, yeah.
She just goes flying off screen. Yeah, a little bit of that. I think also just the. I really I needed to have a list of better words for this word, stylistic, like the style of the Ty West's, it was just a little over the top and stuff like that at times, and so it all plays into that, like the whole montage at the end of Pearl where she's setting out dinner and like it's doing like the two mirrored camera like things, and then there's like split screens and things like that in X. It's all very like you're watching a movie.
I don't. When I think of split screens, I think of Brian De Palma. He's a big fan of that. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen Carrie or a lot of. He uses that a lot, like Phantom of the Paradise. You've seen that, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of split screen in that.
You felt the Carrie in these movies too.
Just the split screen. Like there's all like maybe Ty West is a fan of Brian De Palma also. I wouldn't blame him if he was. It's just cool.
Yeah, I think
it's different.
The isolation aspect, the mother kind of like lording over you in Pearl. I got a little bit of Carrie from that as well.
Yeah, they're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah,
they're all gonna laugh at you.
Right, exactly. More religion in Carrie than there was in Pearl.
Yeah, that was the first sin. Say it. That was the first sin. Say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was a lot of religious imagery in Pearl
and in X.
But in X it's way more over the top. Literally like he's got the televangelist like talking divine intervention. And all that stuff.
I kind of wanted to like. If I were in the movie, I'd be like, "Is there another channel we can watch?" Everybody's fucking watching the televangelist.
That's all they watch there in Southern Texas.
It's like in RoboCop. I'd buy that for. It's like this is the only channel you have.
I love that shit.
It's like the game zone. Can we watch the Oilers?
The Oilers, come on, right? Come on.
What are you doing? We got the Oilers are playing the Steelers. Come on, we got to watch this.
I think it was like halfway through Pearl. I like stopped and I was like, hold on. She's a totally different character. She is Pearl in that film, and you can tell just by the way that her accent is. It's a little bit different than the way she plays Maxine, because Maxine's like the sassy young lady, and then this is more of like a farm girl, the farmer's daughter, which they reference.
That's the
in
porn,
X.
The porn,
yeah.
Certainly, they mirror each other quite a bit.
I felt like they were two different people though. The way that she can act, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she did do really good.
Any praise she gets, she totally deserves.
Yeah.
Any critical evaluation she gets,
Yeah, they don't really do
earned.
like a lot of horror movies for
Right.
Oscars, do they? But
You think she's getting an award for this one?
she might get like a
It
nomination.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Nor would I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't like awards,
Okay.
Yeah.
but if I were to give an award, I'd give an award for her. Give
One
her a
other thing
gold-
I
give her
noticed
gold star.
in Pearl, there's no nudity of Mia Goth, but like it's not like Mia Goth was uncomfortable being nude because in X,
Yeah.
you see everything. But
Yeah.
Pearl is more like she's always wearing a towel, and
Sorry.
when they cut back to her, she's like in the bath and this and
Mm.
that. She doesn't take off her clothes to hump the scarecrow, or anything like that. It's kind of, I don't know. You see her naked in X as an old lady, but it's kind of interesting choice to not actually like show any skin for her in Pearl. I don't really know. It's probably way over my head why they didn't do that. But
I like
That's
that
so
choice.
interesting.
I really like that choice.
maybe you're supposed to not respect her more, but maybe because it's like the 19 teens.
Yeah.
Mm.
She was kind of a Lucy, but she wasn't just giving it right up to the projectionist. Like she wanted to.
That's when Robert from Meet the Feebles walks in. Pearl, you dropped your Pearl.
Yeah, you dropped your hat.
You've been drinking.
Yeah,
Only they had a bottle with them.
he did pour up some.
Oh, that's right. They
stuff.
cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been drinking.
Yeah, you're a loose lush. That's
You're loose.
it.
And you.
There
drink.
really are like some similarities between Meet the Peoples because it's like the dark side of show business
Yes.
and like what it takes
Yeah.
to get successful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Chews
reminds
you
me
up and
of, like,
spits you out.
There's like a Wale song, 90210, where he talks about like this girl, like what she's doing to get famous in like Hollywood, and ends up like doing adult films and stuff like that, addicted to drugs and all this stuff. A lot of people probably get flushed down the drain like that, especially young women. Because like as a young woman in the industry, like you only have like so many years to shine
Mhm.
before you get old and ugly, and people don't care about you anymore, and the Weinsteins aren't even touching you anymore and all this stuff. So it's like,
Yeah. No more casting calls.
yeah.
Couch calls. Whatever the fuck they call that.
What do you think about the scarecrow scene, Juan?
got his courage.
I
Oh,
don't
that's the
know.
one.
It's like,
If
yeah,
you only
well, I
had
don't
a
know.
brain.
I didn't really think anything much about that scene. Honestly, it's just
What were they trying to do with that scene? I guess they were trying to get like the projectionist.
If I only had a brain.
Yeah,
pretty much like, yeah, she probably like felt something, and she knew she couldn't do anything with him
She might just
because
really
she
like
was married.
She might just really like scarecrows.
That is true.
It was a
Handsome
good looking.
gentleman.
I mean, not gonna lie, it was a pretty good looking scarecrow.
Yeah. He was dapper as fuck.
Yeah, well,
His feet were hanging, but
if it had a
Mhm.
hole, a hole's a hole.
no, it had straw, dude. Like I was just like, ugh, like I had to cross my legs. I'm like,
That would,
hurts,
yeah,
man.
that probably would hurt. but
Dry
hey,
straw.
beggars can't be choosers.
I
And
thought
they lingered on it.
Yeah, I thought the
Mm.
way that they sculpted the head of the scarecrow, that at a certain point they would just put a real person in there and the eyeballs would just open up or something.
Yeah.
I was waiting for like the eyeballs to show up,
Yeah. But instead we get like a
full face.
CGI face
Oh,
put in
really?
there instead. Yeah,
Yeah.
the projectionist
Yeah, it
face.
was like
She-
two
yeah.
frames.
Interesting. Okay,
of him.
that's
She's like,
fucking
oh,
interesting.
yeah. It's a Jeepers Creepers moment.
Mm.
Yeah,
His buddy Ozzy, or their buddy Ozzy, was talking about there's a new one apparently.
Really?
That's what
For which
you know
one?
about the Jeepers Creepers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The new
yeah,
Jeepers
that's
Creepers.
way off topic.
Same
never.
director.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't know who's directing
I don't
this
think
one,
so.
but
I don't
Maybe
think
it's
so.
Ty West.
Yeah, still never seen those movies.
yeah.
They're not bad. First one, maybe two. But yeah, that's just what it reminded me of. Cornfields,
Mm.
scarecrows.
Right. Oh yeah,
crows.
yeah. I remember one of the posters or like covers for the DVD for one of those movies had him on a thing.
Yeah,
Like
for
a-
the
Yeah,
first
just
one.
like
scarecrow.
the
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
just like the way it is in this film.
The,
Yep,
the second
yeah.
one, like one of the openings, part of the opening, yeah, he's faking being a scarecrow. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the kid goes to lower him down. He kidnapped the kid, and then Leland Palmer chases him down and all that stuff.
Seems
yeah,
like
it's like
horniest
the whole-
scene. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was. She needed to get bonked for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Go to horny jail.
I think her scream is in the trailer too. Oh!
It's like the Predator when he's like,
Oh my
patching himself
god.
up.
Yeah, that's how that scream. It's fucking funny.
because they do show like birds flying away when she screams in the field.
Yeah.
She was gone for a while too, man. Her mom's like, bro,
Right.
come on, you're not tricking me, you're not fooling me.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a long ride, mom.
Yeah. And again, I'm just like, I don't know if it's just because I like Mia Goth a lot. It's just like, he's up on her.
Mm.
Stop being so fucking mean,
Yeah.
bitch.
Mom.
You crap. Was he Burkhalter in The Big Lebowski? It's like when he's all pissed off, he calls him a kraut.
Oh,
I told that crowd in the league.
That crowd.
Who posted it? Burkhalter. I told that crowd in the league office I
Yeah.
don't fucking roll on Shabbos.
Yeah.
It's
That's probably how everybody was talking about him.
Yeah, those krauts over on that farm.
That Kraut farm, the Powder Keg Farms.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, powder keg.
Not really sure why.
Yeah.
Why that was the name.
Well, it is it's just waiting to blow, and it did. Shit
I
went
guess
off.
So.
Should we rate these films, guys?
Sure.
I think so.
What should we rate first?
I said my piece.
X?
Sure.
Let's go X since it came out first.
Okay.
Let's see. So on my rewatch of X, that's a really inspiring film. Like just hearing Ty West or reading Ty West's letter about how he was inspired by films of that era to make his own film. And then as you watch that film, the guy who's shooting the porno, he's like, "Oh yeah, I can really like do some cool editing in France. They're doing a lot of cool edits nowadays."
Hides the budget.
Yeah,
Reminds me
exactly.
of Boogie Nights. Like he's got the same thing Burt Reynolds has in Boogie Nights. He's like, I want this to be cinema. I want it to I don't want it to just be porn.
Yeah.
Which I like too.
So I think it's a super inspiring film, just coming from that kind of like filmmaking aspect. Not my favorite death. I brought this up recently talking to Ian. Kid Cudi gets killed almost off screen. And then having old people as the killers, a very interesting idea. It's not, a Freddy or a Jason coming after the campers. It's a couple horny old people. It kind of works. And then there's that twist in the end where they basically kill themselves. Howard dies of a heart attack and she basically breaks her hip. I think it's a very good film. A very inspiring film, but I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite horror films. I probably put it around like a 3.5 for X. Yeah, I don't want to be too lenient on that one, but yeah, I put it around like 3.5. It's very passable, but I don't think that I'd revisit it too much. But it did teach me a lot, and I kind of look at filmmaking a little bit different thanks to that film.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mia Goth. Great performance.
Performances.
Yeah, she's playing a couple characters. Yeah.
3. I mean,
Now
old
3,
Pearl,
now-
young Pearl, Maxine.
Yeah,
And then older
No.
Maxine too. Yeah.
she does great.
Regular American Horror Story.
Yep.
Oh, and also the
Oh,
soundtrack. I kind of agree with you that "Don't Fear the Reaper" probably shouldn't
I
have
just saw
been the
a lot of
choice.
the other songs, but
I like that though.
yeah,
But I'm
could be worse.
Well,
easy to please.
that kid probably should have feared the Reaper
Yeah.
as he was getting stabbed in the
You
throat.
needed to have more cowbell.
Yeah.
What do you give X, Roman?
I like that scene, the dance afterwards too.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
probably parallel
That's
those
on a little
two with
performance.
Pearl and
Yeah. Having seen it, I knew it was kind of coming, but I think if I had first watched X, I'd have been like, "The fuck is going on?"
Yes.
Yeah. It's a giallo now. I think for X, I'd probably land at a 4. I liked it. I did like it. I kind of agree with you where I don't know that I would really revisit it anytime soon or anything, but I still thought it was good. It felt a little slow. I think maybe Pearl felt a little slower, but they're two different kinds of movies, so it's different. But yeah, no, I personally liked the kills. I liked the build-up. I liked the characters. They were shallow, but I thought that was the point, kind of, in a way. Not the point, but it was intentional. They could have gone deeper into each of the characters, but
because I guess Friday the 13th characters, you don't really go too deep on those ones either.
for sure, no, not for most movies. Although, some of the better characters, like the characters in the 5th one, they're more memorable.
It's all about the dancing.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
about those dance moves.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Crispin Glover, Violet in the 5th one. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think overall, like, nothing really blew my mind with X, but it was definitely really interesting to watch it after having watched Pearl, because I already knew like all her motivations and everything like that, and so it's kind of like what's a good way of saying this? It's like when you solve something backwards. You know, that's kind of how it felt watching it. Like I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I get it
Retrace
now.
your steps.
Like reverse engineering, maybe.
Mm.
A little bit, you know. And so to know who Pearl was and where she came from and everything, and then to see her staring out the window in X when she's introduced, I'm like, all right, we're in for something. And then yeah, I felt like it delivered on my expectations. It didn't disappoint me or anything like that. It just didn't blow me away or anything like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm a sucker for homages to old movies and stuff like that I've seen, because I'm sure there were more that I missed. So yeah, I would land on a solid 4 for X.
Nice.
Okay.
Ian.
I'm gonna go the same 4. What you guys saying that you probably won't go back to this? I think I will, and I'm glad we did rewatch it
Mm-hmm.
because I really liked it in the theater when I saw you guys.
Mhm.
I really liked it yesterday watching it again. I appreciate that it was something relatively new. See, that's why I'm not giving it anything above a 4, because I appreciate that it's something new. It's not another Halloween. I already said that. But at the same time, maybe a little derivative. You know, again, it's like we get it, Ty West. You watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre in quarantine. We understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also like, hey, maybe it'll inspire some kid to go watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know, like kind of like what you said. You know, you wanted to go watch it. So even though it's like you know, you're ripping them off, but at the same time, it's like, you know what, Toby Hooper, in my opinion, is a pretty good dude to pay homage to.
Mm.
And again, Eaten Alive and all that. So I do respect it.
Funhouse,
And the Fun Mouse, homemade. But
Church Mouse.
Church Mouse, yeah, we forgot Jen Ortega. Yeah, I just really like the setting, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and violence. You know, seeing old people fuck was interesting. I like it, and I think, you know, that's one thing. So I probably won't revisit this a lot. I'm trying to break out of watching shit a bunch.
Mhm.
You know, like I'm probably not gonna watch Halloween this year just because it's like I've been watching stuff I haven't seen a lot lately, and I'm really digging that. I'm really digging watching new stuff.
Mhm.
So I kind of want to watch stuff I maybe haven't seen, or at least in a while, going forward. Because I don't know, it's just kind of nice watching new stuff.
Mhm.
And that's what I liked about this. You know, it's new,
Yes.
even though there's some stuff that, like you said, like it doesn't break new ground. I agree with you,
Mm.
but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, it's just
Very well made.
yeah,
Horror film.
great cinematography, great
Yeah,
performances.
yeah,
You know,
that's
Mia
what I'm
Goth is like fucking queen right now. I guess so she's trending on Twitter, and deservedly so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
One of the scream queens at the moment.
4.
What would you give it? 1?
I think I gotta agree with you guys too. Just give it a 4. Honestly, like what's it called? I really like this movie. You know, it was something kind of refreshing from like the usual horror movies we've been getting for the past few years. We've been just getting like the kind of the same old slasher movies or like paranormal kind of movies with like ghosts or the
Ring
ring
type of
stuff
thing.
like stuff like
I
that.
think of like Paranormal Activity.
Conjuring.
Conjuring,
Conjuring
kind of
movies,
like
yeah.
the whole like
Sinister,
demonic stuff, like
Yeah.
spirits and stuff like that.
There was
or
a trailer, I think. Was there a trailer for
Yeah,
the
I saw an
movie?
exorcism
And it's
trailer.
yeah, it's
yeah.
just I forget what it was called, but it's just like, we're still doing this.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
this was kind of like
Yeah.
refreshing to like the
Yes.
whole horror scene,
Yeah.
you know, stuff
Good
like
point.
that.
Great point.
But honestly, like it was really like well done, you know, kind of different and stuff like that. So that's why I would give it a 4. I might go back and watch it a few more times, but it's nothing that I'm gonna be like revisiting constantly and stuff like that. But for what it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would agree.
Are you talking about X or Pearl?
X.
Yeah.
Beebs.
Now,
What did Beebs give X?
what would you give Pearl? Though,
0 out of
Ryan?
5. Not enough cats.
Yeah. Where was the cat?
Where to catch me?
We don't have a
They
cat.
needed some taxidermied cats
We
on
have
their
it,
walls,
yeah.
like Coraline when she's got all her Yorkies taxidermized.
Mm.
Oh, God.
Pearl should have had that with all her cows or something,
That would have been fun.
Mm.
or her gators.
The Gators, yeah.
What would you give
Crocs.
Pearl though? 1?
Ooh, Pearl. I don't know. I'm gonna have to rank it a little bit lower, probably like a 3 or 3.5. Honestly, like her performance was probably way better than X and everything, but for like the movie wise, it was just like a lot slower and
sure.
kind of just didn't get me invested as much as X did and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there wasn't as much to do
Pretty much, kind of like that.
because the other one is the kids coming to the farm and
Yeah, a little more fun.
a little bit more fun.
More characters.
Kind of
More
more
characters.
Yeah, more
to dive
characters.
into.
Yeah, I think the X like focused on more characters, more scenes, and like more environment stuff like that. This one was just kind of just directly on her, on Pearl,
Yeah, because we brought it up.
and I
at
get it
the-
too, but
Yeah, the cast is basically the same size in terms of like main cast.
yeah,
Although actually really not though, even because Pearl, like if you look the dad is one of the characters. He doesn't really do much. Howard is another character. He shows up at the end.
Yeah.
The projectionist only has like that
Very
section of the
few amount of
movie.
scenes,
Mitzi's
yeah.
only in that little section of the movie. So really it's just the mom and Pearl. So yeah, less people to bounce around to.
yeah,
Yeah, so you got to really hope that your character you're focusing on, Pearl,
they carry the movie kind of. Yeah,
and I think Mia Goth does. I just don't know about Pearl as much. But anyway, I guess I can
3
wait till
or
my turn.
3.5?
I think I'll give it 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Ian?
I'm gonna give Pearl a 4 also.
Ooh.
I think it's a very good companion piece.
yes.
I mean, Mia Goth's fucking performance, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ, like, yeah, it's worth admission alone for that.
Yeah.
It, I give it a lot of props. It made me feel for her, and when I feel something for an emotional response for a character, it's like you're doing something right.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't really give a fuck about the 1918 setting. I don't like the gaudy clothes and the this, that, and the other thing. But at the same time, it's just great cinematography, a great character in Pearl, and great Mia Goth performance. Yeah, and again, it complements X. It's a great, double feature. Yeah, I think they're kind of really, even though just personal preference, like what you guys said, what we've all said, the 70s setting, that stuff is more up my alley. However, it's still a good thing to, a good movie to watch after, before X. They go very well together, like lamb and tuna fish. But give them both a 4.
So for X and Pearl, for somebody who has never seen either one, how would you guys recommend? Would you guys recommend watching Pearl first or X first?
I don't think I can answer that without my own personal bias, because I would just tell
because
them.
Roman, did you watch Pearl before
Right.
X, right? And then we watched X before Pearl. That's what I was wondering.
I would tell
It's
people
like,
watch X before Pearl just because that's how I saw it.
oh, okay.
I saw that they were doing double features in theaters and that they were doing Pearl and then following up. with
Really?
X.
That's
Ooh.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
okay.
cool.
So,
Damn.
chronologically, yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I can't say because I haven't. I don't know. I guess I can say because I saw Pearl before X. But
What would you say,
Yeah.
Juan?
I don't know, honestly. That's like, I don't know, honestly, because like I like Pearl, because like Pearl, you kind of get to explore like her backstory and stuff like that, and then once you watch X, you're like, oh, you already know like why she is how she is, but at the same time, it's like when you watch X, you're like, okay, now I got to figure out like why is she doing this, and then you
Yeah.
go, I don't know, it's weird. It's like,
I think that if I approach somebody fresh, I would suggest how Roman watched it, Pearl and then
first.
X.
to get like the backstory first, and then
That way you could see the character's growth too.
Mhm.
Like she's an old decrepit lady now.
growth, but also not growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
For aging.
I think
Yeah.
definitely if I had seen X first, there would be a more shock factor to it. Just in
Mm.
that it's an old person and they're
Yeah.
doing kills and she's dancing. What the fuck? Like, the hell is this? And,
Mm.
she's caressing Mia Goth's stomach. And
Me, like with Star Wars, fucked prequels up. I'm not a fan of certain prequels, but I think, and that's the thing too. They apparently shot this like simultaneously or one after another.
Mhm.
I think that really helps. You don't wait years and years and years and years and years and then go back to the
Right.
story. It's that's why I think they complement each other so well, because they were
Yes.
written like simultaneously.
Mm.
And that
Yes.
you guys
helps.
know if Maxine is right there with them? Like, is that always,
I think
is
I
that
see.
always
I
the
think
plan, or
I
are
don't
they
think
doing
they're
it right now?
filming yet, but I think they are.
They have a
Mm.
casting call out right now where if you submit a tape of your best Maxine impression, you might be an extra on the third film, Maxine.
That's
That's
yeah.
Let's get our tapes together, boys.
Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Start dancing.
Yeah.
Gotta have that
Mm.
X
Be
factor.
like Linda Carter or some shit.
Yeah. He's a redhead. He's an X Factor. Yeah. It is funny, like the irony that it's the same exact girl, Mia
Mm.
Goth. she looks exactly the same as young Pearl and Maxine, and as young Pearl, she's not the X Factor, but then as Maxine, she is the X Factor and all that stuff. So even when she's like banging Kid Cudi, like you could see like he's coming out of the scene, like he forgets he's supposed to be acting and shit because he's like, I'm having the best time of my life. And they all say it after, like, man, this girl fucks, my rating of Pearl, I guess I'm a Ty West or a Quentin Tarantino. I just steal stuff because Ian, I'd say basically exactly everything you said. I
followed your 4 as well.
Yeah, so 4 again.
It's a 2-way street.
Yep. But no, I think you said it. They're different movies, and I think in a personal ranking, even though they're both 4s, I would probably put X slightly above Pearl. But I still really enjoyed Pearl. Like I thought it was really cool, and for me, I went in without context, so I was still able to watch it, and I wasn't super confused or anything. I just kept thinking, like, I wonder if this is a callback, and this and that. But it was still very watchable, and yeah, Mia Goth's performance is what sets it apart. Again, just like Joaquin Phoenix and Joker, like you need that person that the movie's basically all about. She's on camera probably like 90% of the time or something. You need her to like carry it, and she really did. She sure did. So yeah, it makes you sympathetic to the character a little bit, but also, well, yeah, it just makes you sad for her because, like you said, she's sick. She knows she's sick, but it's still not changing. And 60 years later, it still didn't change, and ultimately ends up in her getting run over by a van. Maybe it was a truck.
I guess van.
Yeah. Either way, she got smushed.
Yeah.
So all that stuff from Pearl, all of movie X, and that's what it all leads up to, is basically just her dying because she was trying to, I don't know, retain her youth through sex, through sexual osmosis. I don't even know.
I like I don't know why he's saying that. Just in Pulp Fiction, when John Travolta was asking Uma Thurman about the show she was on, and
isn't her name
Fox? Mia? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mia Wallace. And she's like, it's called Fox Force 5. Fox because we were a bunch of foxy chicks. Force because we were a force to be reckoned with, and 5 because there were 5 of us. And then like each 5 of them had like a specialty. He's like, the French Fox's speciality was sex.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's saying the sex thing. Anything that
that's Mia Goth's
speciality was sex.
Sexuality.
Her sexuality was specs.
Yeah. So, yep. For me, it's a 4 for both.
Nice.
What about you, Carlos?
I gotta go a 4 for Pearl, guys. Like you guys are saying, Mia Goth's performance is fantastic, but also Tandy Wright as the mother, she gets that really good part.
She's a good performance as well,
where she's explaining to her daughter,
it's just like, go fuck yourself, you bitch.
That's good though, when you can really hate her. Yeah,
it's a very good performance. Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, I'm upset with her, but also kind of empathizing with her.
And that too. Also, it's again, it's like that's why this movie to me is that good. It's these are characters, they have layers, it's that shit, it's dense, there's so much going on, they're not it's you get invested in them, or at least interested. I
kind of like the smaller cast of Pearl as well. Reminds me a lot of Hateful Eight, maybe, where it's very focused on their performances. And I also think that Ty West took a lot more creative chances on Pearl. He has that montage at the end where he's chopping people up, or rather Mia Goth's chopping people up. And the choice to just stay on Mia Goth for that whole monologue was, it reminds me a lot of in the beginning of, oh man, what's the World War II film that Quentin Tarantino did? Inglourious Bastards. The milk scene in the intro of that one where
that's a good comparison.
Yeah, where the Nazis explaining what's going to happen. I think
they're
that
even drinking milk, I think.
Yeah.
It's like there's people under the floorboards, right?
Yeah,
and that's
Shoshana.
It's like Mia Goth under the bed when Johnny Knoxville and Spike Jonze are having sex with each other.
I felt like this one had a lot of Texas Chainsaw influence as well. The living room where she puts her dad in, and it has like a canary up there that reminded me a lot of, like, was it a chicken
in the birdcage?
Yeah. And then of course at the very end, the dinner scene where she's eating with all the corpses. This one was really good. I really liked the performances in this one. I really liked the vibrancy of the settings. I like her.
Technicolor.
Yeah, it was a very happy film, and then it goes over kind of like her disease, and you can kind of see it like festering into her, much like the pig is like getting eaten alive from the inside out.
Good analogy.
She progresses, and
that's a very. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
the rot starts
She
to show.
is the pig.
She's down with the sickness.
Put
Yeah.
lipstick on a pig.
Yeah. Very. I want to see more by Ty West. I'm excited for Maxine.
Same, I'm looking forward to it.
His interpretation of
It's
those
on-
kind of
it's
older
on well.
films is a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
He's got a few movies from like 2010s that I want to check out. So
Right.
too. Yeah. More from him. Yeah. No, this was my introduction to Ty West. So
Yeah. I think that's a straight 4 for Pearl, right?
I think so.
You 3.5.
No,
right?
3.5.
Yeah.
Dang. All right, almost.
We're close. It's okay.
So they're about the same, I think.
Yeah.
4.44, 3.5 for
Yeah,
each.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
They're close. They're
Good stuff.
definitely gonna be always like tied together. I would think. Yeah, no, but I do like that they're different. One's like psychological horror more so than one's more straightforward slasher. I did think Pearl dipped a little in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember
Yes.
back like what happened, and I was like, I don't even remember. I remember it being very slow.
Yeah.
But again, it's sort of to a point. You
Yeah.
know, it's supposed to be a slow burn. I think a
Sure.
little bit more.
Maybe some isolation. You can feel the same isolation she has, maybe. I
Right?
don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
It's interesting because X is almost kind of like that too. You know,
The isolation?
The isolation. You know, they're
Mhm.
just kind of by themselves at that
Farm.
and it's also kind of like shit doesn't really start happening until like maybe halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
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 So they're very similar.
There was a couple times in X where I said, "All right, let the killing begin."
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
and then I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait." You know? like I told you, I thought for sure because he had said Psycho was his favorite movie. I'm like, he's gonna
Right.
get fucking
Right.
stabbed in the shower,
Yeah.
and then he got in the shower. I was like,
Yeah.
"What the hell?"
Stabbed
then
in,
he
the,
got-
in the dirt instead.
Yeah, he got a much better death scene than the
Yeah.
shower death scene would have been.
Good films, though.
Yeah.
I think we can all recommend you
Mm.
guys watch these
Oh,
ones.
definitely.
Yeah.
Pearl just came out yesterday, so you guys got to check that one out in
Yeah.
theaters.
Yeah, go watch it.
Maybe do a double feature when you
Yeah.
know they get to streaming or released to physical media. Or whatever. Yeah, that'd be good. I liked it as a double feature. I watched them basically. You know, there was like an hour or two in between watching the two. Basically, a double feature for me. I enjoyed it.
And then get ready for Maxine coming soon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Triple X, which is
Yeah.
clever. It's the third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
That's
What, the
true.
Vin Diesel movie?
Yeah, I prefer the Ice Cube one, State of the Union.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
No, I'm kidding. I don't remember shit about those movies.
All right, but let's get out of here, guys. Oh, I think next week we might be watching Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll figure that one out and report back. And then after that is October. We're starting our horror film season.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
It's getting spooky.
Yes. We'll try to release a schedule on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram.
This is a good way to kind of merge. You know, this is spooky movies. You know, so it's a good way to kind of ease our way into it.
Mhm.
Christian goes, "Ooh."
Follow us on Instagram at Last Night Prod, Last Night Productions, but it's just PROD.
Project.
Yeah. Hopefully you're subscribed to us on YouTube right now.
Yes, please
Give us a
do.
like,
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah,
Comment
there's
what you
no-
think of those
Yes,
films.
Yes, please.
Pearl NX.
Give us
Yeah.
your
A
thoughts.
twofer.
Oh, and we're also on Spotify too, guys. Check us out
Yeah.
on Spotify if you're a Spotify kind of guy.
Listen to us in
Or
the
person.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to us at work.
Vehemently disagree with our takes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yell like, get your road rage
Call
out.
us mean names.
You gave it a 4.
Yeah. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
You've been dwinking.
You've been you lose. And you twink.
You've been eating hot wings.
Oh my god.
Smash. Christian says, smash that like button. Yes.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and thanks for being here, guys. That was
Thanks for
fun.
having us. Always.
Until next time, everybody. Signing out.